Alright, I'll give you one guess of what we're looking at today. And surprise, surprise, you guessed it. It's the Kato modern diesel engine, aka EMD SD70ACe. Boy, doesn't that just roll off the tongue. I don't really understand why modern engines don't have fancy names, but there you go. That's what we're looking at. So let me take it out. There you are. You can see it's nice and orange, big and bright. As far as modern engines go, I think it looks fantastic. So as always, we'll get it out on the track here and see what this puppy has. Alright, got it all loaded up here on a nice long train. You can see how it works. We'll get it started here and let you enjoy. See the front lights looking great. Looks good in action as I try to follow it along here. Nice and smooth. Looks great going by the TV there. Again, it has a great look to it. Alright, now for the overall look of it. It is fantastic. I think this is one of the best modern looking diesel engines out there. This paint scheme looks always good on engines color wise, so I guess that's good for you, BNSF, for picking a sharp looking style. So with that said, it's getting a full 10 on my scale. I don't know what you guys think, but I think it looks quite awesome. See it coming through the tunnel there. Now as far as materials go, the whole casing seems to be made out of plastic, which isn't bad because it's high-end plastic from what I can tell. Nothing's really cheap. All these little bitty details in here are plastic as well, but they're not really prone to breaking because I've been playing with this a bit and nothing, even though it looks flimsy or it could be looking flimsy, nothing has fallen off. So materials, pretty good. I'm giving it an 8 just because it is kind of made out of plastic. Would have liked to see metal, but that's just me maybe. But with the materials that have been used, it does seem to be fairly high end. As for its uniqueness, it's pretty common, I'd say. A lot of manufacturers are making these in N scale and other scales. Everybody's got this BNSF or similar type of modern engine. To me, they all kind of blur together and look the same, even though there are differences. Oh, with that said, I do think this is one of the better looking models out there. So on my scale, I'm giving it a 6. Kind of right in the middle, leaning towards the upper end of things of uniqueness just because of the high-end materials used. But there are quite a bit of these out there, so not too unique in the long run. As for the noise level this thing makes, it's decent, I'd say. I would have liked this type of higher end model to be a little quieter. It does make a little whining noise, if you will, especially at higher speeds. Not necessarily a bad thing, but on the quiet scale, I'm giving it a 6. Again, because I would have liked to see it a little bit quieter. There is some whine to it, as you can hear. So it's certainly not whisper quiet, but it's decent. It's decent. So solid 6 all around. As for its power requirements, pretty good. It starts moving relatively low, on low power. and it can really pack a punch once it gets up to just halfway up the dial. So good power, good engine. It's getting an 8 in my book for its power needs to get moving there, so pretty good. Now, as far as overall strength is concerned, it's really good, a really strong engine. It has the capability to pull quite a lot. It really packs a punch from what I can tell. However, there are no traction tires installed, so I really think that's holding it back. For example, when I have this thing running around corners with a lot of cars behind it, it does start to struggle and even stall at times when, if I just kind of slightly push down on it, it will take off and run just fine. So I wish there were traction tires. I wish it weighed more. That would help as well. So with that said, I'm giving it an 8. The only reason why it's not getting a 10 is because I wish it had traction tires, and if it weighed a little more, I think it would be better performance-wise. But this thing could probably pull the sun to the earth if it wanted to. Lots of potential power. I just feel it is stifled a little bit. Here it is at slow speeds. Still, you can see it looks great, nice and smooth. Really can go slow too. Lights still come on a little bit. That's great. So this is great. This is what you want to see. This is what I want to see in a slow-moving train. Nice and long. Fairly quiet, still a little whine. But super smooth at slow speeds. So it's getting a 10 for that for sure. As far as derailment's concerned, it's really good. Especially this type of style when you compare it to, I don't know, the older steam engines, which are really hard to get on the track and stay on the track sometimes. But this one's really good. Like you can see, I can take it off, and then just with my own hands, boom, and boom, it's back on, ready to roll again. Really easy to get back on the track. Not that it derails in the first place, but this is getting a solid 10, because it doesn't get easier than this. Now, as far as problems are concerned, this particular model I did not have any problems with at all. It seems to be really good, really solid, really put together well, like I was talking about earlier with the details. Lots of fine little plastics there, but they are not prone to breaking at all. However, with that said, the first model I purchased online was not working properly. Underneath, I could tell because, well, you probably can't see it because it won't focus in, but there's gears in the front and gears in the back, and both of these are powered, and both of them put power to the track in the wheels. The back set of the first model I had was not working at all. The front side was, and so even at full blast, when I first got it, it crawled along the track. And if I tried to hook it up to any car, it would just stall and just spin. You can hear it whine, and not move at all. So I knew something was wrong, and when I investigated it by doing something similar to this, where I put it halfway off a power track and looked at the gears underneath, I could tell the back set were not moving at all. So I ended up returning it, buying it again from a different dealer, and this time it works just as well as you'd expect. So I think there's something problem with that first model. Don't know what it could have been, if it was the dealer's mishandling, UPS's mishandling, or some other factor, but it did not work out of the box. However, this one did. Don't know how common this is across the board, but really happy I got a working one and haven't had any problems since. With that said, since I did have that one little hiccup in the beginning, I'm giving it a 9 from a problem standpoint, just because that's what I experienced. Maybe you guys experienced something else, but based on that, that's what I'm giving it. As far as price to value is concerned, I think it's pretty good. I bought this thing couple months after it first released. The MSRP at the time of release was 170 US, and I didn't pay anywhere near that. So like I said, a couple months later I got this for roughly 90. Definitely not pocket money, but for what you get, very powerful engine, very high-end model. I'm giving it an 8 on the value scale for that price, because I do really like it. It is really good. 90 is probably just a tad expensive for me, but it is a really, really good model, and I'm really happy that I got it. Alright, so when you add it all up, it's an 83. That gives it an all-time high on the model so far that we've done. Really, really good score. It's going to be kind of hard to beat it, but we'll see if any do. But a new bar has been set. So, what do you guys think? Agree? Do you have it? What are your thoughts, comments, concerns? Would like to know if you guys have had other problems similar to my own. But hope this was at least an entertaining review, and more to come. So we'll see you back here soon.